In this video, I'm going to show you how to do this easy acrylic painting of hot air balloons. So to start, we're just going to be using some Blickrylic acrylic paint, a canvas, an easel, a paper plate, a few brushes, and a cup for some water. So we're going to keep these supplies very minimal, and you also just need a surface to paint on, like a table or a desk or something simple to paint on. But the key is here we're going to be using simple paints and brushes, nothing complicated. If you don't have a tabletop easel like this one where I got from Michael's for $4, you can just use a flat surface to paint on, or you can set your painting up against some books. So those are some other options instead of using an easel. So you would just prop up a few books and set your painting against the books. So you don't have to have an easel, but you can just use other ways. So first we're going to start by using a small brush, and we're going to draw our painting. So I'm using a burnt sienna toned canvas because it's easier for you to see how to do the painting. So I'm just going to use some black acrylic paint first, and I'm going to start by painting right in the middle, and we're going to paint the hot air balloon off to the side. So I'm just going to make just a curved line and another curved line off to the right of the canvas. So I'm just going to look at my iPad as my reference, and I'm going to just do some basic lines, and just to make it simple. So I'm going to draw the basket, and like I said, I'm just drawing some simple lines because we don't want to make this too complicated first. We're going to take things step by step, and we're just going to do the outlines first. So the second one, I just did a half of a circle, and then I went down and did the other two curved lines. And now we're just going to add our more lines to the middle. And we're going to just add one more small hot air balloon on the right side, and another one right underneath that. So we're making shapes basically. We're just doing some shapes, and now I'm just going to do just a few squiggly lines on the bottom as a landscape. So these are just going to be some trees. So I'm just kind of making some squiggly lines so that we can do our landscape. So all this is just a few basic shapes, and we're going to be filling those shapes in with some color. So as you can see, we have our drawing first. So now I'm going to use my medium-sized brush, and we're going to be filling in the colors of the hot air balloon. So I'm just going to use this primary blue, and these are once again primary colors. So we're using white, black, primary yellow, primary red, primary blue, and then there's a turquoise and a black. So these colors are very simple. So what I did was I used some primary blue and a little bit of white to give us this kind of a lighter pastel-ish blue color. So anytime you add some white to your colors, it's going to make the main color lighter. So when you add any type of white, it's going to make it more of like a pastel color. So we just added a little bit of white, and especially with this burnt sienna tone canvas, we have to add a little more white, and especially with this type of paint. This paint is called Blickrylic, and it's like an economy acrylic paint, so it's not really thick. It's more for like paint parties and just fun painting. So that's what kind of acrylic this is. It's Blickrylic economy paint. So next I'm just using this primary yellow, and I'm adding some white, which will give me more of a pastelish yellow. And like I said earlier, adding white to this will make it show up more on the canvas. If I were to just put down plain yellow, it would be very transparent because of the quality of this paint. So this type of paint, like I said, is usually used maybe in schools for teaching or for paint parties. And it's very inexpensive paint. So this type of paint also, what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of pushing my brush to the bottom of the cup to get the paint off. But like I was saying, I'm using a red and a little bit of white because we want it to show up on the canvas. And I'm just going to mix that together. And it's going to give me a little bit of a pinkish color, but if I were to put the red on, it's going to be kind of transparent. So I'm going to add a little yellow to make that more of a red color. Add a little bit more red. And just keep mixing it in. And this type of easel I'm using is just a plain tabletop easel. This easel actually costs only $4. So if you find, I think I got this off of Michael's. So Michael's usually has like coupons where you get 50% off, 60% off. They have really good deals. So next I'm going to mix of purple. So I'm using primary red and primary blue. And I'm mixing that together. And I'm going to add a little bit of white. Just a little bit. And that's going to give me my purple color. So yeah, like I said, with the easel, you can find deals where you can get 60% off. So this, like I said, this tabletop easel was only $4. You don't really need to use an easel, but I don't know, having an easel just makes me feel more like a artist for some reason. I know it sounds funny, but having an easel makes it more, you know, having the painting upright. You can also, you don't need to have an easel, so you can just use whatever you have. But I find having this little easel makes it just a little easier. But you can always paint on a table. So I'm going to mix a green color. So I'm using primary blue and primary yellow. And I'm going to mix that together. And a little bit of white. And it's going to give me a nice green color. And if you want, you don't have to paint these same colors. You can always create your own colors if you want to. It's just, to me, mixing colors is pretty fun because you get to see what happens when you put all these different colors together. So we have the first hot air balloon colors laid down. And I'm going to mix some more blue. And a little black. Now black is going to make this color a little bit darker, like a darker blue. So I'm going to paint the second hot air balloon with that color. And going back to the Blickrylic acrylic paint, this paint is very inexpensive and it should last you a long time. So I think the bottles are probably like $7 or $8 for each bottle. And as you can see, the bottles are pretty full. You know, it's a lot of paint you can get. So I'm going to mix some more colors. And then you can use these cheap paper plates. You can go to like the dollar store and get cheap paper plates. So what I did here was I was mixing an orange, but the orange was, as you can see, it came transparent on the canvas. So I added a little white so you could see it more. As you can see, the orange shows up a little bit. It's a little bit pale orange, but it shows up a little bit more on the canvas. So, and you don't have to make your cover your canvas in this burnt sienna color. I'm just doing this so that you can see a little bit easier, as opposed to if I was to use just a plain white canvas. So mixing colors, you know, don't take it too hard if you can't get the colors exact. It just takes a little bit of practice mixing colors. So just, you know, you could even take some acrylic paint and just have like a canvas and just mix some colors. You don't even have to paint a painting. You can just mix the colors. So just take time to explore mixing your colors. And this painting is really easy to paint, and it's not very complicated. So this shouldn't get you frustrated or anything, because I know sometimes painting can be a little frustrating if you haven't painted before, and it just takes a little bit of time and practice. So what I was doing here was I was mixing a brown color, so it's more of a grayish brown. And what I'm going to do now is use my larger brush, and we're going to start painting the sky. And it's going to be a kind of a light whitish blue color. And this brush is, I think it's a size 8 Simply Simmons brush. This is a bright brush. So I'm just going to speed this part up, because all we're going to do is be filling the background in with a light blue and white for our sky. So I'm just going to keep mixing in. And what I'm doing is I'm just varying the colors. So I'm adding some areas white and then some areas that light blue, just so we get the look of a sky.
Sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living living that high life. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro, back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feel it when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Shopping the girl, I brought a girl on my Vespa. She said I already told ya, yeah, yeah. I never dated a black guy. I said you're brown yourself. Let me offer help. Come on inside. Where everybody knows your name, everybody knows your name. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro, back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feel it when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Separate again. Sunlight that always stays in and by the waterway. It's that sweet life, sweet life, sweet life. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. Yeah. Shut up, I got the bed,
So now what I'm going to do is add the landscape on the bottom. So I'm going to be mixing like a olive green color. So I'm going to take some yellow and some black, and that's going to give me an olive green color. So we're going to use for the landscape on the bottom. And I'm just going to move my brush in an upward motion. So I'm just going to kind of make somewhat of like grass. So I'm moving my brush up and down to make like grass. So now what I'm doing, I'm taking my brush and I'm moving it in an upward motion to make the landscape or the grass and the trees on the bottom. So I'm gonna move this a little bit closer here so you can see. So all I'm doing is just brushing in an upward motion to create the look of the trees and the fields and the grass, just to make a landscape. So now I'm just mixing some more paint so that I can fill in the color to make it a little bit more brighter, the color on that first hot air balloon that's coming off the side of the canvas. So I'm just mixing some colors to fill in and make those colors just a little bit brighter. So I'm just adding in some more acrylic paint after that first layer dried. So next I'm going to fill in the area of the second hot air balloon, the second one that's coming off to the side. I'm just going to add a little bit of a white color just to fill that in, and I'm just going to take some of a little bit of yellow and the white mixed together. What I did like a little bit of a stripe across the middle here, but I decided I didn't like it, so I'm going to paint over it. And it's okay if you don't like something in your painting, you can always paint over it just like I'm doing. So I found that I didn't really like that line that's going across, so I decided to just go ahead and paint over it and fix it. So that's what I did. So now I'm just going to finish adding the details to the sky and just finish up the details of the painting. So I'm just adding some more white and the light blue color to make the clouds, and then that'll be it. So hopefully you found this painting to be very easy and fun to do. And like I said, I first designed and sketched out this hot air balloon painting on my iPad, as you see, that's sitting next to the painting, and then I decided to paint. Sometimes it's easier to sketch out your ideas first before painting on the canvas, just to make things a little bit easier for yourself. So yeah, just have fun with painting and see what you come up with. If you have an iPad and you use what I used was the app called Procreate, and I just used a regular technical pen as one of the brushes, and then I used a round brush to fill in the sketch that I did. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this painting, and remember to take time out to be creative, and use the whatever you have at home is great. And if you'd like to purchase a tabletop easel, they're not fairly expensive. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this, and please subscribe to my channel and visit artsyvic.com and have fun painting.